Hello and warm welcome to all of you. Dear students, today I am here with the second part of civic chapter number 6, understanding our criminal justice system. In the previous lecture, we had discussed the case of Sinde family and Shanti. My humble request to all of you, before you see today's video, once you have to go through that story from the textbook. After that case, we can say that there are four key players in our criminal justice system. Number one, the police. Number two, public prosecutor. Number three, defense lawyer. And number four, the judge. So today we are going to discuss about the role of police in criminal justice system. The important function of the police is to investigate any complaint about the commission of crime. First, police is investigating about the complaint of crime. How? An investigation include recording statement of witnesses and collecting different kind of evidence. Police investigate the complaint of crime, but in what manner? So this investigation include collecting statement of witnesses. Witnesses means at the time of crime, whoever is present there, at that place of crime, or maybe any person who has seen something, who has heard something. So it is the duty of the police to collect the statements of such witnesses at the time of crime. Even police also collecting evidence from the crime place. All of you have seen in the movies, in some of the serials, if something happened wrong, someone inform the police. Police visit the crime place and try to collect evidences from that place. Even they try to collect statements from the witnesses. So after the crime, police start its inquiry. Police start investigation. Police start to record the statements of witnesses, and police start to collect the evidences from the crime place. On the basis of the investigation, police are required to form an opinion. If the police think that the evidence point to the guilt of the accused person, then they file a charge sheet in the court. After the investigation, after collecting evidences, after recording statements of the witnesses, police form an opinion about the accused person Police thinks that evidence points to the guilt of the accused person if they believe that all the evidences, all the statements of the witnesses are against the accused person. Accused means the person who is charged with the crime. At the time we cannot say person is guilty or innocent. But if after investigation police form an opinion, if evidences and statement of witnesses are against the accused person, police file charge sheet into the court. After investigation, it is the duty of the police to file charge sheet against accused person into court. As stated at the beginning of the chapter, it is not the job of the police to decide whether a person is guilty or innocent. That is for the judge to decide. Now here you have to keep in mind, it is not the police who declare the judgment, who decide the accused person is guilty or innocent. But it is the role of the judge, it is the duty of the judge to declare the person guilty or innocent. All of you have idea about the rule of law. Rule of law means all are equal in the eyes of law. Even rule of law is also applied for the police. Therefore, police investigation always have to be conducted in accordance with law and with full respect for human rights. Rule of law apply to all, even it apply to the police. So whenever police is doing investigation must be done accordance with the law, as per the law, and with the full respect of human rights. Police have to keep in mind the idea, the notion of rule of law. The Supreme Court has laid down guidelines that police must follow at the same time of arrest, detention and interrogation. At the time of investigation, police has to follow the guideline by the Supreme Court at the time of arrest of the person. At the time of detention means to keep person in custody, in jail, and at the time of interrogation. At the time of investigation, police must follow the guideline of Supreme Court for the arrest of the person, for the detention of the person, and for the interrogation of the accused person. The police are not allowed to torture or beat or shoot anyone during investigation. As per the guideline of Supreme Court, at the time of investigation, police are not allowed to torture accused person, not allowed to beat accused person, or not allowed to shoot accused person. Why? Because accused person crime is still not proved. It is not the duty of the police to declare the person is guilty or not, but it is the duty of the judge to declare whether the person is guilty or not. So here, at the time of investigation, at the time of arrest, detention and interrogation. Police are not allowed to torture or beat to accused person. They cannot inflict any form of punishment on person even for petty offences. Even they cannot give punishment to any person for little crime. So that's why Article 22 of the Constitution and criminal law guarantee to every arrested person the following fundamental rights. Article 22 of the Constitution of India gives some fundamental right to arrested person as a guarantee. Number 1, the right to be informed at the time of arrest of the offence for which the person is being arrested. Suppose police is going to arrest Mr. X. So it is the duty of the police to inform the person, to inform the time of arrest to Mr. X. So right to be informed at the time of arrest of the offence for which the person is being arrested means police have to inform the reason why they are arresting Mr. X. So as per the Article 22 of the Constitution, first guarantee is a fundamental right for every arrested person, that police have to inform the reason why they are arresting the person, for which reason, for which crime they are arresting. Number 2, the right to be presented before magistrate within 24 hours of the arrest. Police has to be present the arrested person within 24 hours before magistrate. Means they have to right to be presented the arrested person within 24 hours into the court. Why? If person is presented within 24 hours after his or her arrest, he has right to defend himself into the court. So first, right to be informed. Second, right to be presented within 24 hours of the arrest. Number 3, the right not to be ill-treated or tortured during arrest or in custody. Right, do not torture or ill-treated person in custody or at the time of arrest. Number 4, confession made in police custody cannot be used as evidence against the accused. Sometimes police use illegal way, they torture, they punish the person to accept the crime, to confess the crime. So whatever confession made by the accused person in custody cannot be used as evidence in court. Might be the person has confessed the crime because of the fear, because of the torturing of the police. So, whatever confession made by the accused person in police custody cannot be used as evidence in court. A boy under 15 years of age and woman cannot be called to the police station only for questioning. This is also a guideline given by the Supreme Court. Guideline given by the Constitution of India. A boy under 15 years of age and woman cannot be called to the police station only for questioning. So when the person is arrested, Article 22 guaranteed some fundamental rights to accused person. First, right to be informed, the reason, right to be presented within 24 hours into court, right not to be ill-treated or tortured during custody, confession in police custody cannot be used as evidence into court, and boy under 15 years of age and woman cannot be called into police station for questioning. Here, the guideline given by Supreme Court of India for the police and other agency, they have to follow at the time of arrest. So Supreme Court of India, the highest court in our country, laid down guideline for the police and other agency at the time of arrest, detention and interrogation of any person. They have to follow this guideline. These guidelines are known as D.K. Basu guideline. Supreme Court of India has given guideline for the police and other agency at the time of arrest, detention and interrogation of any person. These guidelines are known as D.K. Basu guideline. Number 1. The police official who carry out the arrest or interrogation should wear clear, accurate and visible identification and name tags with their designation. At the time of arrest or interrogation, whoever in charge, the police officer, should have to wear accurate, visible identification and name tags with their designation. At the time of arrest and interrogation, the police officer should wear visible identification and name tag with their designation. All of you have seen in the movies or in real life the police wear their uniform and on that uniform the name of the police officer and designation of the police officer is described. Even some stars are also on the shoulder of police officer. So at the time of arrest and interrogation, police officer they should wear a clear and visible identification with their designation. Should wear a dress which identification and designation of the person. A memo of arrest should be prepared at the time of arrest and should include the time and date of arrest. Whenever the person is arrested, they have to prepare a memo. Memo means short official note. And on that note, they have to describe time of arrest and date of arrest of the accused person. It should also be attested by at least one witness who could include a family member of the person arrested. The arrest memo should be countersigned by the person arrested. Suppose Mr. X is arrested by the police. So, at the time of his arrest, police must be in their proper dress with designation and the name of the official must be there. They have to prepare a memo, and this memo, this notice, this short notice is attested means certified by one of the witness who could be the family member. Mr. X, anyone from Mr. X family certified that the person is arrested, and the arrest memo should be countersigned by the person arrested. Police preparing that memo, police sign that memo, and even it is countersigned by the arrested person, as that person has to sign on that memo also. Number 3, the person arrested, detained or being interrogated has right to inform a relative, friend or well-wisher. Person is arrested or detained or interrogated by the police has right to inform his family, relatives or friend for his arrest. If Mr. X is living in other city and his family living in the nearby city, so Mr. X is alone in his house, so Mr. X has right to inform about his arrest to his family, friend and relative. When a friend or relative lives outside the district, the time, place or arrest and venue of custody must be notified by police within 8 to 12 hours after the arrest. If friend and family of the accused person living outside the district, it is the responsibility of the police to inform his friend, family or relatives within 8 to 12 hours, and they have to also mention the time, place of arrest and venue of the custody of the accused person. So these are the guidelines given by Supreme Court of India to the police, and these guidelines are known as D.K. Basu guidelines. Here I would like to conclude my today's lecture. Wait for the more from the same chapter very soon. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Allah Hafiz.